Hello everyone and welcome to this lightning talk entitled Arguing for Argument, applying a genre analysis approach to a research article for the development of ESAP teaching materials. My name is Girdlestone and I'm a lecturer in EAP at the University of Leeds. The rationale for this lightning talk involves a link to the conference theme of exploring pedagogical approaches in EAP and examples of teaching practice, the development of genre analysis skills as an early career EAP practitioner, which allows for clearer understanding and access to features such as a focus on argument within a discipline, leading to creating ESAP teaching materials based on those theoretical approaches, which allows for personalised learning experiences for students. And a little bit of contextual information. I am the module co-leader for language for marketing in the summer pre-sessional at the University of Leeds, a role which I took on last summer and which I'll be continuing this summer. So hopefully the materials will support students in the coming pre-sessionals. These students attend the pre-sessional in preparation for MA level study in marketing. Their previous experiences vary. Some have completed EGAP pre-sessional courses here at the University of Leeds. Some have completed business-related courses in their undergraduate study, but some have not. So we have a real variety in the class. And the pre-sessional, in terms of writing, asks students to create a research-based essay. So there'll be elements of argument involved there, but in their further study, they have to produce more research-based essays, reports, and case studies. And the reasoning for argument being a focus area is linked to my own experience and reflection in terms of the strength of claims in writing that students use to support ideas and claims. So they use phrases such as "it is obvious that" and "as we all know," which perhaps don't support claims as well as they could. A key aspect of successful writing in higher education, according to Andrews 2009, and argument differs across disciplines, so students can find argumentation difficult, and using these genre analysis approaches and looking at stance allows for some specificity to be accessed in that sense. Morrison, Zwart 2020 and Zhu 2004 both identify the role that persuasion plays in marketing as one of the branches of the persuasive communication industry. So in order to understand these features in a little bit more detail, a genre analysis approach was employed to help develop teaching materials, so analysis of an authentic academic text, which can also then lead to support and guidance for students to access their academic community. Research that is already out there in terms of the field of marketing and business tends to call for further research on the structural and rhetorical requirements of genres in the field of business, with most studies generally focusing on classification of writing assignments. So there's not a lot out there to support the development of materials and in turn the creation of relevant materials for students. So skills are required to access and unpick some of those features. There had to be an element of transferability here because students won't need to produce a research article. The one that was chosen for this was by Bragg et al. Called Athlete Endorsements in Food Marketing. But I did feel that students come across these types of texts regularly in their research, and obviously this relates to celebrity endorsement of a food product, so it would involve the sort of concept of celebrity endorsement. And because they're not going to produce a research article, it was important to highlight some of the generic and transferable writing features from the text that could be used inside and across disciplines. So for example, features of the research article could be applied in report writing in terms of word choice and how argument and data supports claims and recommendations. So the genre analysis approaches that I took include stance analysis by Hyland 1999, a three-part argument schema by Britt et al. 2008, and a move analysis of a discussion section by Peacock 2002 for different perspectives on argument to be understood. But this lightning talk will focus on the stance analysis. I'll be happy to talk about the others approaches taken and the outcomes of that afterwards if people wish to talk about it. So the rationale for the stance approach, this is linked to what EAP students should be introduced to, so the concept of stance, discourse-specific features, and links to their own stance expressions in their own writing. Zhang 2005 calls for students to be equipped with a wider repertoire of stance devices to signal their support for claims and structure their argument, and Hyland 1999 does highlight a strong link between marketing and features of stance as well. So I thought this would be a good approach to take in terms of helping students to understand how argument can be developed through their word choice. It's important that during using stance appropriately informs a reader of a writer's opinion or position in relation to an issue. And the analysis involves identifying those interactive features and linguistic devices that writers use to communicate their point of view. So the stance analysis I selected was Hyland 1999. Here are some of the examples of stance features. So hedging language to denote caution, emphatics to denote certainty, attitude markers, necessity modals, relational markers, person markers, all of which provide a good overview of different language features across the text. Here are the outcomes of that analysis. So you can see emphatics were used quite regularly, as were person markers and attitude markers, and these are all frequent stance devices used in marketing. So the RA does provide useful examples of these stance features to highlight for students. The analysis showed that here are some of the samples. So the emphatic word choice includes the attitude markers with necessity modals for making recommendations, adjectives for description and providing a little bit more of an opinion in terms of describing elements of the investigation in the research article, and person markers where people can signal relationship with data and take responsibility or present themselves as being quite objective about processes and outcomes. The outcomes are that materials were developed. Obviously, these materials are designed to promote consciousness raising, so exploring the text with students together, with some co-construction, collaboration of exploration of argument through the stance analysis. We hope that students are supported to recognise this and understand how they can develop and use these stance features in their own writing and argument development, and apply in their own discipline to reproduce these types of devices in their own writing. And this gives me as well a clearer understanding of the features of this discipline as well. So the next steps are for further collaboration between myself and colleagues related to EAP practitioners, business marketing, understanding of writing in the marketing field, and looking at the relationship between the academic and professional writing contexts. Thanks for listening. Here is the reference list.